Welcome back, guys, to another episode here of the Endless Growth Podcast. We're here today with a little special episode for you guys. But here I got Alex with me, and
Yeah, special guest today. We want to welcome Leo to the show, essentially the podcast. It's
yeah,
we haven't had a guest in a minute, so yeah, welcome Leo. Thank you for coming in through, bro.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate you guys having me. Let's rip it.
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. If this episode's gonna be a little different, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, at least the format goes.
Yeah.
We're trying a new format, to hopefully get out, and reach more people that are not here local in our area. So camera stuff, we'll see how that goes. We'll have probably Leo somehow in either we'll switch him in and out throughout the camera. We'll figure that out as we
Yeah,
go.
the back
But
end.
audio, we should probably still be the same for the guys listening. But yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, awesome, Leo. So yeah, as we said, we have essentially a special guest on. So Leo, essentially, let's kind of tell the people how we got in contact. So essentially, I guess on my end, you can kind of explain how it happened on your end. We received an email, I think through our website, checked the email occasionally, saw you, and then it's kind of how we started chatting, and an opportunity essentially presented itself. Like, is there, well, I guess, what's kind of like your side? Do you just kind of see this like online? Kind of like, how do you essentially just kind of maybe come across this and maybe decide to be like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and email these guys to see if, I could maybe get on the show?
For sure. So obviously I have a lot to say, right? Just like you guys, we are all in this time of age where we have the ability to record and say what's on our mind, right? So I wanted to get my message out. So what I did was I went on YouTube and searched Mindset Podcast. And your guys' podcast came up. And obviously the title, the Endless Growth Podcast. I'm in the pursuit of constantly growing every single day. So I was like, hey, you know what? I kind of like what these dudes stand for. I'm going to reach out to them. I think I reached out to you guys you guys have a website, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got in contact with you guys from there. I think I emailed you guys or went on IG and reached out and just essentially told you my story, a quick little brief story about what I've been through, and that it would be an honor to be on your guys' podcast to share that with the world,
Okay, perfect. Okay, well, awesome. That actually is a great, I guess, transitioning point. We obviously did speak. I think it was like about a month ago. You kind of, obviously we chopped it up and gave some basically shared information, knowledge, and all that stuff. So I guess that's a good starting point. Just essentially tell us about your upbringing, maybe just some, I guess, just information you want to share about yourself to introduce yourself.
For sure, bro. So I'm 29. I'm a father. Married man, I got twin boys, and just to kind of go back, I guess I'll just start in high school because that's kind of what I clearly remember, right? Throughout high school, the entirety of it, freshman to senior year, I had absolute zero confidence, bro. I was completely timid. I couldn't talk to girls. I didn't have any belief in myself, right? Although I was a natural athlete, I did fairly well in school, and I was lacking the mindset, the confidence to pursue whatever it is I wanted. That resulted in me not knowing who I was all throughout high school. After high school, I wanted to find out who I was because of the lack of confidence, right? So I joined the military. While I was in the military from the age of 20 to 26, I did not find any confidence. I went to go look for that confidence, but I could not find it, right? Yeah. I do constantly difficult things here and there. I put myself through the struggles, but nothing worked. And what I ended up finding out was that I was lacking the mindset. I kept telling myself the complete opposite of what it was I was pursuing or trying to find. While I was in the military, I got married, and me and my wife got pregnant. Found out I was going to have twins. Later down the road, I found out that I was having twin boys, and I was like, all right, I got to change some shit. I got to change some shit. Sure. I got to figure this confidence thing out. I got to figure out what it is to be a man. Reason being is because growing up with my dad, he never really taught me the principles of what it was to be a man. he was there, but he wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was providing for the family, but he wasn't presently there because he was lacking the confidence as well. He was lacking the principles of what it is to be a man, because he essentially, um, his dad kind of just passed the bullshit down to him and didn't tell him exactly how it was to be a man. But just to kind of fast forward, um, when I found out I was going to have twin boys, I ended up pursuing the whereabouts or the know-abouts of what it was to be a man. Long story short, bro, I was lacking the mindset. I joined a real estate business mentorship, and I found out that I didn't have the confidence or abilities to scale a business because of my mindset. So about a year ago, year and a half ago, I ended up pulling out of that business because I wanted to focus more on becoming a mindset advocate. And that's actually where I'm at right now, where I'm teaching other men what it is or how it is to be a man by introducing them to the principles of what it is to be a man. And that's actually why I'm here today, to share my word and show people and tell people how we can help each other, uplift each other and all that good stuff, you know?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, I really appreciate you for being vulnerable and letting us know that. I think you mentioned that you got out of the military when you were 26. You still hadn't had the mindset trait. You're 29 now. Obviously, a lot has changed in the 3 to 4 years. What do you feel like was your breakthrough to be like, oh, like this is what I should, like you said, the mindset thing. But what was kind of like that first piece of information, the first thing that you maybe saw online or you started doing that you were like, okay, this is where I kind of want to take things?
So it was during COVID time when I went into that real estate
Okay.
mentorship. I started pursuing real estate as a business. Have you guys heard of wholesaling real
Yeah.
estate?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I started pursuing that. I ended up closing one deal pretty early on, at the beginning of that year. So I started January. I closed my first deal in March.
Hmm.
I got like a $30,000 check, bro, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna quit my job and I'm gonna do this full time. I'm gonna do this full time
Hmm.
because if I could do this with a full time job, imagine what I can do with not having a job and focusing on this strictly, right?
Yeah.
Long story short, I ended up running out of money. I couldn't scale the business, and I had to go back to the 9 to 5 world, right? What I ended up finding out was I was lacking the mindset, right? I didn't understand that it takes a positive, um, what how can I say it? It takes a lot of struggles and lessons, and it just takes a lot to be an entrepreneur and to be a business owner, right? And so what I did was I pulled out of the business and I was like, you know what? I'm going to focus on my mindset. So I went back, got a job, and long story short, I came across a mentor. Are you guys familiar with Wes Watson?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I ended up joining his program, and he gave me my confidence back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ended up fixing my mindset, and he taught me how to find myself again. So now I'm focusing on helping other men find themselves by um, finding their purpose, becoming the man that they are extremely proud of, and helping people do the same.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
Yeah, I like recently started hearing about Wes Watson, but essentially, I guess for the people out there, he was, if I'm not mistaken, was he's essentially a white guy. I'm not, I think it was California or somewhere like that, but he essentially went to prison and kind of came out and
Yep.
was a beast, bro.
Oh
Honestly,
shit.
he's just a straight up beast. So that's kind of that's crazy. Okay.
Huh.
And then was this around the same time? Was this like after the wholesaling that you joined the program, or was it maybe like before? What was kind of the time frame there?
Yeah, so I started the wholesaling real estate business 2022, the beginning of it. So a
Mm,
little bit after COVID, like when COVID started dying down.
Hmm.
And then I went that whole year into 2023. That's when I got the job. And I was already following Wes Watson for about 6 months before I joined his mentorship. But I joined his mentorship earlier this year, like in May. So
okay.
that's when I started implementing everything that he kind of lives by, and And that's what I do now, and I help people do the same thing.
Oh, hell yeah, bro.
Nice.
Okay.
Do you plan going back now that you kind of have a better mind and idea of like doing your whole business thing again and from a different, way?
That's a good question. At the time, I was very discouraged, right? I felt like a failure. But now that I look back, it all happened for a reason, for a purpose, for me to find out that I'm lacking the mindset, to then finding Wes Watson and then gaining that positive mindset, to now helping people do the same thing. But long story short, I mean, I'm definitely going to continue to pursue real estate because, I mean, it's an asset that will ultimately build my wealth. So whether it's my primary vehicle of getting the cash flow or not, I'm going to still invest in real estate for sure.
For sure.
Yeah,
Hell yeah, man.
It's kind of similar to me.
Yeah.
So I was a kind of an agent for 3.5 years. My license is on hold right now. Just trying to do other things. Maybe go back. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, same thing. Like I didn't really like the whole Asian thing, but for like real estate as like an asset, like a vehicle, I think it's definitely amazing, and everybody should get on board.
For sure.
That. Okay.
For sure. Are you still doing real estate, or I know you said it's on hold, but are you still representing people?
Well, actually, it's funny enough. I represented my boy Edgar right here.
Yeah.
I think it was what was it, like 2-3 months ago?
Yeah, literally like 2 months ago.
So it was pretty. I was maybe doing like 1 or 2 here and there, like a year on the side. But I don't know. I feel like I just had to go in. I feel like I had to go all in on something, and that didn't really resonate with me. I'm super glad I did it because kind of similar. I don't know if you know this guy named Manny Koshpin, Instagram and real estate dude. Essentially, he kind of got me into the real estate, same kind of way Wes Watson kind of got you in the whole mindset thing. This was about 3 to 4 years ago. Joined his mentorship, was basically joining calls with them, doing all that stuff. And he was just like, yeah, to be honest, like becoming an agent and at least learning all the ropes and fiduciary responsibilities and all that would be beneficial. So that's what I ended up doing. Not necessarily to become an agent, but I made some extra money, so I can't complain,
Heck yeah, dude. I love that.
Okay, cool. So you said that you're kind of more on the whole Wes Watson. I know he's kind of more of an influencer. Obviously, he's training people to become the ultimate version of themselves. Is that kind of like the path you're wanting to maybe go on now? Be kind of, I don't want to say an influencer, but some sort of like just influential person that would help people?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like the thing that Wes Watson does is like what he teaches and what he preaches is obviously become the best man that you could potentially be and give that man to the world. But if you think about it, you can do that with anything that you do, right? You can do real estate and still follow a process and teach people to be just as effective as you by following that same process. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. You're essentially reverse engineering the process for them.
For sure. So I live by the process that Wes Watson taught me that helped me lose the 30 pounds and just gain the confidence, right? So what I do is I help people do this. I help men do the same thing because I truly believe that our society is lacking men in this world, right? There's so many broken men out there that are denying the fact that they're broken, which is ultimately causing a lot of pain in this world. So I just want to teach people to face the truth and fix what it is that's kind of holding them back from becoming the best version of themselves by focusing on, what you eat, the early wake up, and then just being ripped as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Got you. Okay. Sure. Well, I guess that was going to be one of my next questions. You said, I was basically going to ask, what are some essentially tips, tricks to essentially kind of get you or even closer to that person? So you said diet, like having a good clean diet would be one. 2, you said waking up earlier, which I suck at, so I need to work on that one. And then what was the third one? I'm sorry.
Just going to the gym and making sure to get that pump. You know what I'm saying? Because the pump is the cure, dude. Like if you think about it, back in the day, our ancestors would limit how much they ate, not by choice, but because that's just how they lived, right? They had to go hunt their food. So there's days where they wouldn't eat. That's why back in the day, they were super ripped because they were fasting for so long. And then what they'll do is they'll go hunt their food, bring it back, and feast as a community. And all those long treks was staying physically fit. It wasn't like it is nowadays. You know, nowadays we're in modern day society where we can go to the gym, get that pump, go on long treks like they used to, whatever it is you do for exercise to raise that frequency, and then just consistently watch how much food you eat. Because, dude, food's a drug, bro. It's like the most addictive drug, you know? We're constantly overindulging in food, unhealthy food, and that's causing a lot of blockages in our mind, and it's not letting us see the vision that we are meant to take. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. And then, if you don't mind me asking, what type of a diet are you on? Are you a specific diet? Or are you just tracking like your macronutrients? Do you not eat processed foods? Like, where are you at with that whole thing?
So I'm not completely strict. I just watch the limit, right? So like right now I'm eating 1,800 calories, 200 grams of carbs, 40 grams of fat, 160 grams of protein. So as long as I stay below that, I'm good. The cool thing about macros, bro, is it's all numbers, right? So like you can eat, I don't recommend it, but you can eat 30 grams from a donut, or you can eat 30 grams of rice, potatoes, pasta. The only difference is how you feel, right? The pasta, the potatoes, you're going to feel better than if you eat a donut. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Empty calories there. Huh. Okay. Do you, I feel like I've heard some people do it differently and all that stuff. I know some people online, they usually are really strict in the morning, and then they kind of like use the nighttime to intake all their carbs. Is there kind of like maybe like a cheat code or a specific way you kind of like doing it?
So what I do just to make it easier is I eat like 3 times a day. So what I do is I break down that 200 grams of carbs, 40 grams of fat, 160 grams of protein in increments of 3. And I just make sure to get that intake. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But I've heard people do that where they fast their carbs and then they load at the end. The crazy thing about carbs, bro, is like carbs give you energy, right?
Yeah.
So like if you don't have the proper amount of carbs throughout the day, bro, like you're going to feel antsy and agitated, which ultimately a lot of people thrive off of that. You feel like you're vibing high, bro. You're a freaking animal out there. It's insane. So I noticed some people do that, and then they kind of just feast a little bit at the end of the day. I've heard it's kind of beneficial. I'm not a proponent of that because I am an angry person if I don't have carbs. So
No, I'm the same way. I be getting what they call it, hungies.
Yeah.
Yeah, holy yeah.
Shit, I don't know. Maybe it's something that I've kind of implemented without even knowing. But man, just because I have such a busy like work life, you know, I hardly ever get time to actually eat. So I kind of fast all morning until like literally when I get home from work around 5-ish, and I don't know, maybe that's why it's helped me stay some way in shape, you know. And but
Okay.
yeah,
I love that, dude.
Okay, cool. Okay, awesome. Let's move down the line. So the number one was clean diet, sleep. How many hours of sleep do you think is optimal? What was kind of your routine there?
To be honest, I don't really want to give false information as far as like what's optimal for sleep. Obviously, the more, but not too much over 8 hours is good. But I wake up at 4 a.m. Reason being is because I'm not rich yet, bro. I gotta get up and get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of people be sleeping in like they're rich. I gotta get up. I gotta say that I'm grateful and I'm here to fucking earn my shit. You know what I'm saying? I truly believe that a man needs to get up before anybody else so he can develop himself and then just give that developed, well thought out man to the world.
Got you. That's I feel like my biggest one. I suck at,
that's
bro.
crazy.
Like,
4 a.m. is
What time you sleeping? You can sleep.
Dude, I used to get up at 2:45.
yeah.
2:45.
I used to when I used to work construction. I had to leave the door by 4, so I had to wake up at 2:45 and do my morning routine. That way I can leave the door and be in my most prime state. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I left the shop yesterday at 3 a.m. So
That's why.
it's just an hour away from the time you're getting up in a way. But that's just me. Like at least 2 days out of the week, I'm here like way late. But
I feel like I want to do the whole like 4 a.m. thing. I just feel like I don't know what it is. I think maybe I like to just do all my, I don't know, fun time at the end of the day once it's like work's all the way done. And I think the biggest excuse, the mental blockage for me is, oh, I'll do it when I start a family or I have kids. Cause at that point you kind of have to, like you have to take them to school. So might as well just be
For
up
sure.
earlier. But obviously I don't necessarily have that yet. So I feel like maybe that's either the mental block of that or, having the kids there. But
Yeah.
okay,
Would
cool.
you
Sure.
would you
And
say?
that's kind of. Go ahead.
Oh no, finish what you were saying. Sorry.
Yeah, that's kind of actually why I started, because obviously my kids would wake up at 7, and obviously at this point I've kind of already been on the journey of self-development, and I would always hear like, oh, it's important to have a morning routine, wake up early. So I slowly started implementing it. The beginning it's premature, right? Like you say you're gonna wake up, then you snooze. You say you're gonna
Yeah.
wake up, snooze, da 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 da. But I wanted to wake up before my kids so I can be the best father that I could be for them.
That's
And
awesome.
now it's 4 a.m. because, they wake up at 7, so I just want to make sure to give my morning routine and hit the gym before they wake up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now I was gonna ask you about going about your kids. How did having your kids like change your life? I mean, did that change anything when you guys got pregnant and all that started?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure, bro. It changed everything because just like I was saying earlier with my dad, right? So, like, we have that whole father son dynamic twice in our life, right? At the beginning, you're the son. And then later on, if you end up having kids, you're the father, right? So, the first half, when I was the son, like, obviously I'm still a son, but.
Yeah.
But when I was growing up, like, me and my father didn't have the best relationship. He was a bad motherfucker. Like, he would wake up, work hard, and provide. But me and him didn't have a good relationship. Not saying it was bad, but we just didn't have that relationship.
Mhm.
Which ultimately led me to be kind of lost and confused as I grew up. So I wanted to make sure that I figured my shit out when I had kids, so that way my kids did not feel the same way.
That's
So it
awesome.
changed everything, bro. Everything,
That's good.
everything.
That's crazy because I feel like the more people I talk to, at least that are like Hispanic, because I'm kind of, I guess, not in the similar boat, but I kind of see some similar tendencies. I don't know why, but a lot of maybe it's just a male thing, but a lot of Hispanic like sons don't really, I don't know, don't really see eye to eye, I guess you could say, with their
Yep.
with their dads. So I'm not too sure what necessarily is going on over here, but
Hmm.
but you're right. It's good that like at least us, we acknowledge that there's something up, and we're trying to proactively change that so we don't keep the cycle from continuing down generations. So that's good.
For sure. Yeah, dude. It's funny how you bring that up because we all think it's just us. Like, we all just say like, oh, I had a dad, but I didn't have a dad. But like, I'm on the same boat. I'm starting to realize that most dudes didn't have that relationship with their dad because every man keeps failing to figure their own shit out, and they just pass it down to their sons. And then that guy just passes it down to his son, and it just keeps going. So that's why it's our responsibility, everybody. It's our responsibility to figure it out, so we don't pass it down.
That's a
It's
fact.
For
my
sure.
responsibility. It's your responsibility. It's your response. You know what I'm saying? That way, it doesn't continue to get passed down.
That's a fact.
That is-
That's true. I need to just basically become the best version before
Yeah.
you pass all that down, bro. Because it's facts. Because even if you don't really necessarily don't want to be like, let's say, your father, it's just, I don't know what it is. It's some type of invisible force. They're obviously raising you. That's what you see. So that's
You
kind
think?
of what you pick up.
Yeah.
It's kind of strange. But
For
okay.
sure.
All right, cool. Okay, I think the third one you said was getting essentially ripped. So let us know, essentially just a little bit like your workout schedule. Do you have like push pull days? Like kind of what is necessarily? How many days do you go to the week? Maybe how many sets, times? Like necessarily anything you want to kind of share about that?
Yeah, for sure. So obviously, I'm 29, right?
Mhm.
I played soccer from like the time I was 5 to about 13 years old. And then after that, I did some MMA. I
Oh hell yeah.
played football and I wrestled. So I was always working out, right? but nothing changed physically. I was always the same. So getting ripped isn't really what you do at the gym. It's what you eat. You know, I've constantly been working out majority of my life, and the only thing that I changed recently was what I put in my mouth, which is the right amount of the right amount of carbs, fats, and proteins. But as far as working out, dude, I work out every day. I don't take any days off. Monday I do chest, shoulders, and triceps. Tuesdays I do back and buys, and then Wednesdays I do legs, and then I just repeat it. And then on the seventh day I'll do like a Murph, or I'll run a couple of miles. But if the macros aren't dialed in to the goal that you're trying to reach, you're not gonna reach that goal. You know.
That's so true. I feel like that's one thing I still need to lock in, at least my protein intake, you know, because I think they say 1 gram of protein per whatever your body weight is or whatever. I'm definitely not there yet.
Lean body weight.
Lean body weight, yeah, okay. So yeah, I need to dial that in for sure. Okay, what is some, like, I know you just said you go every day. Obviously, you know, there's probably people listening to this are like, okay, cool, you know, Leo's on the pod. I'm gonna start doing what he's doing. But obviously, saying that you're gonna go every day and doing it is completely two different things. So how did you like get yourself to actually like get out of bed like 4 a.m. or 2:45 when you used to, and be like, yo, like let me get my ass up and, you know, get the set out or whatever?
For sure. So, like I was saying, right, I've kind of been on the journey for about 2.5 years of self-development. The beginning, it started like I'll wake up and I'll meditate. Like I've always kind of, I've been switching my morning routine for that entirety, right? 2.5 years, but I started waking up early. There's times where I'll hit snooze. Then when it was time to go to the gym, I wouldn't go to the gym. So like everything's premature, right? Everything that you start will always be like you're just getting started. At the beginning, I would miss a lot, and I would beat myself up for it. And then I'll try to get back on the wagon. I'll do it for a couple weeks, couple months, and then I'll fall off again. Um, but long story short, I ended up finding out that that's what my problem was. That's what all of our problem is. The magic that we're looking for, that you continuously keep asking for, is in the work that we keep avoiding. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a lot of us say that we're going to do something, but we don't do it because I didn't feel like it, or we made an excuse, which is most likely valid, but it still doesn't change the fact that you're trying to make a change. Um, what I ended up finding out is that like when someone is confident, that lets me know that they say something and they do it. They follow through with it. Because let me ask you this, right? If someone tells you, hey, bro, like for tomorrow for our podcast or for our event, it starts at 7, so I'll be at your house at 6:30 to pick you up so we can head over there. And then they don't show up. The first time is all right, right? But if they do it again and again and again, like you're going to lose confidence in that person, right? They have a reputation of not showing up on time or showing up at all. So if you continuously ruin your reputation with yourself, you're going to lose the trust, which that's all what confidence is right? Having trust in yourself. So I ended up finding out that if I say I'm going to do something, I need to follow through with it if I truly love myself, you know?
No, it's a fact. That's a big, I feel like that's really overlooked, and if people don't know about that, is even the things you tell yourself, like even the promises you keep to yourself, if you don't necessarily accomplish or even try to even do them, you're essentially just kind of lying to yourself. And like you said, you're essentially messing up your own self-confidence. And a lot of people, I feel like that's something that's not really not known, but it makes sense, obviously, when we're speaking about it. So
Yeah,
just a good
I feel like
reminder,
there's
you
a ton
know.
of people that I could like have in mind that they end up ruining themselves because they put themselves out there as them thinking they're going to be doing this and that, and they don't end up following through, and as themselves they end up beating themselves up also, and then put themselves in that spot where
Yeah,
you
that's
know
cool. Because I think you mentioned that you were essentially kind of timid growing up, couldn't talk to females, all that. I'm essentially exact same. It's kind of crazy. Like literally can't, like, straight up. But I think that was one of the
For sure.
things that would make now that looking back, that was like a little rut I guess I was stuck in, where I would say I wanted to go either, I don't know, talk to girls, whatever, when I was like young. I would maybe say I would, but then I wouldn't do it. And that I kept doing that a lot for some reason. And that I feel like that kept reinforcing the belief that I wasn't like worth it, or I was like a nobody or something like that. So
Yeah.
that is really important. So if anyone, I guess, watching or hearing this is essentially maybe saying they're going to do things and you're not necessarily doing them, then you're essentially just self-sabotaging yourself. So yeah, get out of that thing for sure. Okay, cool. No, I appreciate that. I don't think we've ever said that.
For sure, bro.
No, I don't think that's a good one though.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, awesome. Well, so that was like 3, I guess, necessarily tips that you gave us, Leo. So what I guess are you up to now? What's like the next maybe goal? Like what's next for you?
I guess my only goal is to not let myself down, really. Like, as long as because I'm driven, right? I always want better. I'm always chasing something, right? So I never have any doubt that I will lose my drive. But as far as my goal, as long as I continuously follow through with my promises, I'll be all right. As long as I am proud of myself, I'll be good. Whatever it is that I chase, I will have absolute 100% confidence that I will get through it. You know what I'm saying? Whether I fail at it at the beginning, which is completely necessary, you know, or if I succeed at it. As long as I say I'm going to wake up at 4 and I wake up, as long as I say I'm only going to eat this amount of food and I do that, I'll be all right. So that's my goal, is to just not break character, you know?
Yeah, keep improving. That's kind
good.
of like my, I guess, for sure, straight solid one. I'm obviously, trying to start like a little something here and there, but I guess that goal isn't too defined yet, so I need to work on that one. But okay, that's good. That's definitely good. Essentially, just kind of becoming the best version of self and enjoying the process. Do you have certain days where, obviously you go to the gym and all that, but is there maybe days where you just kind of like feel down, I guess you could say? And if you do, what are some good maybe ways you found yourself getting out of that negative type of thought?
For sure. Dude, I get it a lot, you know, and the thing that makes it the most difficult is, like, we all think that we're the only ones, right? Like, you see all these other people killing it, and you think that they're just meant to kill it, that they were built that way, but in reality, they're operating out of logic. Like, yes, I feel like shit right now, but I need to get this shit done. You know what I'm saying? And then it's also your self-talk too. Like, if you just flip your perception on it, like, for example, right? Obviously, there's times where I'm not sure if you guys feel it, but there's times where I feel worried, right? I'm like a little bit hesitant, like, yo, why do I feel like this? Before, I would succumb to that weakness, but now it's like, nah, that's just pushing me to get up and go create the life that I want. Like, that's just like we've heard it, right? It's a notification for self-preservation. Like, if you want to preserve your life, stop sitting on the couch and victimizing yourself. Get up and go and make that fucking change. So it's just perception, dude. Like, instead of looking at it from this angle, look at it from this angle and tell yourself the reality that you want to experience. Like, for example, you don't want to go to the gym. A lot of people do it after work because, for example, they don't want to wake up in the morning because they rather sleep than work out. But then you go to work and all day, bro, you're negotiating with yourself like, fuck, I don't want to go to the gym. I'm tired from work. Like, fuck this shit. You know? By the time you get home, you've had all that mental negotiation that you're exhausted and you think it's work, but it's actually just your mental exertion that you just wasted all day. So get it out the way in the beginning. So it also all comes down to know thyself. Like, if you know that you don't follow through with the gym at the end of the day, get up in the morning, sacrifice those 30 minutes, an hour, and go to the gym in the morning.
Hell yeah, I really like that.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I mean, no one's gonna do it but yourself, man. So you gotta make that switch and just realize it, because
For sure.
yeah, you're the
Okay.
only one that has control of yourself. So
Yeah, 100%.
For sure.
That kind of reminds me of like a topic we've kind of covered is like prioritizing. I kind of feel like that kind of falls under there. So essentially, like you said, you kind of have the self awareness to be like, yo, if I'm more than likely going to have like a mental battle at work, wanting to debate if I'm going to go to the gym after work. You know, it's usually when we get off, it's usually 5. That's usually the busiest time. So there's going to be a bunch of, like you said, just kind of internal dialogue going back and forth. And that's essentially kind of just making you anxious and then also kind of mentally fatiguing
yeah,
you.
I have that. I have that not with the gym problem, but I have that with work, man. I get so overwhelmed with work. I'll like, I look at my list. I literally write down a list. I'm really big on on writing stuff on paper, and I'm just like, I get to the point where I already know where to start. And it's essentially, yeah, you keep driving this thing in your head where it's like, I got this and I got this going on, instead of just getting to it, starting on it. You overwhelm
sure.
yourself. And yeah, I can see that with the gym people. I mean, I've done that. I'm guilty of that, honestly, in the past, where it's just like, I've had a long day. Like, I've worked my ass off. Like, why am I going to go to the gym afterwards? It's going to be packed. I'm going to have to eat something afterwards, and blah, blah, blah.
Whole
And
thing.
For sure.
yeah, it's,
Damn.
And a lot of people have the misconception is like, I don't want to go to the gym. I'm exhausted. But like, I go to the gym so I can get out of that exhaustion, so I can raise my frequency and feel better. Because we all know, like, when you get that pumping, bro, you feel better.
Hell
You
yeah.
just
for
feel
sure.
better, right? The pump is always the cure. So if you feel like shit, go and get a pump. I guarantee you cannot feel exhausted, depressed, anxious in the middle of some burpees. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's actually that's so true. Like I've gone to the gym, like the some of the times I've not wanted to go to the gym, I'm like, hell no, I don't want to go, all that. Those has ended up being one of like the best workouts I've like ever done.
Yep.
And like you said, after a workout, I've never been like, damn, I shouldn't have done that. Like it's always like, hell
yeah,
yeah.
I think we
Like,
talked about that. We never left the gym and been like, fuck, why did I even come?
yeah, like never.
For sure.
It's crazy.
For sure.
Hell yeah, okay. No, I like that.
It all comes down to how much you love yourself, because like self-investment is the highest degree of love. So like, if you feel like shit right now, are you willing to put in the work to feel better? Or are you just sitting in your misery and just engaged in that negative self-talk, that negative feeling? Like, nah, if you want to earn, you got to earn that PMA. It's not free. It's not for free. You got to earn that shit.
That's for sure.
No, that's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. I just had like a random thought. I want to see how I guess you would approach this. Let's say that there's someone out there. They're maybe not in the best environment. Maybe they live with their parents. They don't have the great relationship there. They feel down, all that stuff. What would be maybe a good way to combat like a negative environment? Like maybe obviously the number one thing would be like leave the environment. But when you're younger, obviously you can't just get up and like essentially just like dip. What would be maybe some ways, ideas, or something maybe you would maybe advocate that would help this individual?
I guess it depends. Like, how young is the individual?
Let's say they're 18. They just finished high school. They're stuck at their parents' house. They're trying to figure it out. Obviously, they don't feel the best about themselves. They're probably not making too much money either. So it would be maybe a good way, maybe not financially because you're 18, your skill set kind of sucks, but just mentally, you feel trapped essentially. Really coming for people.
So obviously you brought up one is you can leave the environment, right? That's not the easiest, but that's one way. But let's say you can't. I think you just gotta figure out what it is you want. For example, like find the person that you want to become and then start pursuing that. Obviously, if you are still stuck in that environment, you just have to endure it. Everything that we go through is it's necessary. Because that's how we learn, right? We learn that if that stove is hot and you put it there, you're going to burn yourself. You're not going to do it again. Same thing with your pain. Your pain is a prerequisite to your purpose. You have to go through what you're going through to learn and then change the fact that you don't want to feel that way anymore. But like, if someone's going through a difficult time in their life and they have no other option, like you just have to go through it. You just have to go through it. But what I would recommend is get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, I agree with that.
For sure.
100% agree
Get
with
the fuck
that.
out of. If you can, get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, I feel like
And start pursuing
that's
a
kind of
better
happened to me. I think I was 22 when I like finally moved out of my parents and all that stuff. But once I did, I just obviously you have to pay rent and stuff, so that's the downside. But I feel like the pros outweigh the cons if you could like manage. Because I had like roommates and stuff like that, so obviously that kind of offset the cost. But as soon as that happened, I feel like mentally I just was different, and I feel like limitation wise, I just felt more free, and that's kind of the realization where I was like, yo, I should have done this, a year or two or back or whatever before things escalated or whatever. So, okay, no, I do definitely do like that. So,
Yeah.
shout out.
for sure.
It probably made you more like responsible too in a way too, huh? Like made you see like, oh shit, like it's just me now. Like I got no backup in a way, but in a way it's like good for you, I guess.
Yeah, it's because you get introduced to the real world. Once you're under your parents' house, they kind of shield you from it in a sense.
Yeah.
Especially Hispanics. Mom, I don't know how your mom was, Leo, but usually Hispanic moms are just really loving. They don't want you to go. They're trying to protect you. They don't want you to, do all that. So, as long like we should obviously love our moms and all that, but to a degree, I feel like you'd be like, hey, like let me do me,
Yeah.
for a sec,
Yeah.
because that could be detrimental as well. Because I do know a lot of people that maybe have moms like that. They kind of baby them. They're obviously comfortable, say don't leave, and when they're 30, 35, they're all, I don't want to say weird, but they're just, something's just kind of off, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's just,
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that. So just to kind of go back, I completely agree with you. Right, for sure. We got to get out as soon as possible. So right now, I currently live in Arizona. I'm originally from California, and I moved out here in April.
okay.
And so all the way up until April, obviously I still do it, but all the way up until April, I was learning about this concept called the power of assumption.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure if you guys heard of Neville Goddard, but
Nah. Yeah, explain this.
so he was back during the World War II era, and he was advocating, or he was teaching people the concept of the power of assumption, which is essentially every single day you're assuming a certain persona, right? Like Edgar and Alec, like you guys know yourselves as Alex and Edgar. When you wake up in the morning, you see yourself and you remember who you are. So you continuously assume that persona based on your past experiences. So the power of assumption is when you wake up in the morning, assume who you want to be from here on out. Like if you want to be a bad motherfucker from here on out, assume that you're a bad motherfucker, but then back it up with the action, right? So in April, when I moved out here to Arizona, I was like, I'm going to fucking recreate myself. I'm going to use this power of assumption. And I think I had just thought about joining Wes Watson's program. So I kind of intertwined all that together and started recreating myself, because when you're in the environment of where you grew up, your family, your cousins, your hometown, you remember who you are. So when you try to change, it's difficult, because the way the human mind works is you see and then you remember who you are based on like your cousins, your family members, and you try to make the change, but then they remind you who you are of your mistakes and all the bullshit you went through and da 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 da. So you have to either think greater than how you feel to make that change, or get the fuck out of there. You know what I'm saying? So I recommend anybody that's trying to make a change is get out of your parents' house and either move states or move far away. Because it's statistically proven that, for real, it's statistically proven that if you move out of your hometown, you start making more money, and then you just start finding yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Why is Arizona? Was it just part of the getting out and just starting fresh, or did you have something there that interested you?
So you know how I told you guys that I went back to the 9 to 5 force after leaving real estate?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When I hit up my business agent for construction, because I used to be in the union, when I hit him up to try to get back into the union, he said there wasn't any work in California, but there was some in Arizona. So if you're willing to move, we can get you hooked up out here. So that's why I was like, you know what? I'm making the jump.
Perfect opportunity. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool.
And you don't have any like family or anything like that in Arizona, so you just kind of just went and that's kind of it then, huh?
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
hell.
I came out here, got an Airbnb for like a week, started working, and then was apartment shopping, and then got an apartment, and then brought my family out here.
Oh hell yeah. Okay.
That's awesome.
You mentioned that you recently left that job though, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I recently left
Yeah,
it.
if you don't mind me asking, what did you transition to? Like, what's like the new, I guess, job or the new goal for you there?
So obviously, I got back into the workforce. I was there for like 6 months. So April to, yeah, like October is when I left, I think.
Uh-huh.
I ended up realizing once again, like, I cannot do this. I cannot be around these people because all they think about is that paycheck at the end of the week. They don't want to grow. They don't want to pursue anything else but drink alcohol after work and then just show back up to work half-assed as fuck. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. So I ended up finding out about, I'm not sure if you guys know Spartan Solar. Now
Okay.
I knock on strangers' doors and I try to help them save on their energy bill
Hell yeah,
while
man.
doing the whole mindset coaching as well.
No, I think that'll be amazing. That's the one thing I like to preach is try to get a job or something that pays you money where you could obviously like expand your skill set or even like your knowledge. Like obviously, I don't want to like
Yep.
talk bad on anyone that does like manual labor, but if you're good at I don't know doing a specific task and you can't really translate that into like a real skill outside in the real world, then I feel like maybe that's not the best investment of your time. But like you said, now you're knocking on doors, you're handling a lot of rejection, you're learning how to communicate. This person said no, you're probably thinking of other ways of how do you make the sale next time, and you're essentially just developing yourself. So
That's big, man.
yeah,
For sure.
that's
Yeah.
out to you. How's
For
that going, by
sure.
the way?
And it's going, dude. It's going good, dude. Just kind of like what you're saying as far as like the rejection. Like, there's this guy named Sam Taggart. He's a professional door-to-door sales guy. Has his own company now. Da 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 da.
Uh-huh.
And he likes door-to-door sales because he uses the analogy of that door is life. A lot of people, or on the other side of that door is your life. A lot of people are afraid to look at what's on the other side of that door. So nobody even bothers opening it. They're afraid, right? So I kind of walk into every single door with that, right? Like, hey, I'm assuming, right? Assuming kind of like the concept that I was telling you guys. I'm assuming that this person wants solar. I'm here to help them. Let's go. So, I mean, obviously, same thing, mindset, self-talk, assuming the life that I want to experience, and just helping people and just learning how to communicate and learning new skill sets is amazing, and I love it. Plus, I'm not sure if you guys heard about Spartan Solar. They're a huge advocate of, physical, mental business, which is, stay physically fit, mentally fit, and the business will align. So I love their values and what they stand for, and I'm definitely excited for the future for sure.
Yeah. I feel like that's really important to essentially align yourself with people, businesses, environments where you're able to essentially thrive, or at least it's something that you want to essentially experience. So the whole construction thing, obviously that was a toxic environment. You didn't want to be, shit face after work all day, basically do some escapism, escape reality for a second just so you could, clock back in. So no, I think that's really important, not only with your environment, but like you said, like your job. Cause I feel like even myself or even other people, I hear them complain a lot about their jobs, but they're not willing to take that risk like you did and try something that honestly, like door-to-door sales is probably one of the scariest shits you can do, honestly. Like I do sales, but even sell like door-to-doors is like, oh shit.
That's completely different.
That's some
Yeah.
other shit, bro.
Yeah.
That's some other shit.
I don't
For
think
sure.
we've ever been put in that situation where we're putting ourselves to like in a position to be rejected in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've always like your job, my job, people come to us in a way, and we're the ones that kind of deal with them that way. But
it's kind of like the modern day hunting if you think about it. Like obviously you won't
Yeah.
go hunt fucking animals and eat them, but like this man's knocking on doors
Yeah,
trying to
literally.
get sales so you can put like food on the table. So it's kind of like the same principle there. You might not catch something today, which would be the rejection or not making sales. You probably feel bad that day, go hungry, like theoretically. So okay, hell yeah.
For sure.
I know you've been doing this since I think you said October. Have you ever done like a sales job in the past, or this is your first one?
Real estate, but it was over
Oh,
the
that's
phone.
true.
So I would just
That's true.
cold call. Yeah, cold call homeowners, which is essentially the same, but
Yeah.
obviously a little bit different,
Hmm. Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
but
Do you
yeah,
feel
dude, I mean,
like having
sales
that previous experience in wholesaling helped you with solar?
for sure, as far as like staying in control of the conversation, like acknowledging what the customer says and then transitioning and then questioning it to remain in control of the conversation and steering it where I want to go. And
Mm.
then also just negotiating and stuff, for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, cool. Let's say there's someone out there that's, essentially in construction. They're, scared shitless to maybe go out and try sales. What would be maybe some things you could say to someone like that, it's kind of on the line, but it hasn't pulled the trigger yet? Like, what would be maybe some words of encouragement or maybe even some reality that might, help them get to that point?
Uh, I guess the easiest way to put it really is you're gonna fuck up. You're
Yeah.
gonna fuck up, and a lot of us think that it's supposed to be perfectly aligned, and the fact that we're trying to perfectly align it is what's kind of stopping us from taking that action, right? So instead of just trying to align everything up, just jump, and understand that you're gonna fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like once you jump, your parachute's gonna open, but it might not be, that perfect fucking
Hmm.
sprout. It's gonna be all tangled up, and you're gonna fucking stumble throughout. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
the whole, what is it? Your goal is to untangle that shit as you get down. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And then finally, hopefully, get that perfect glide. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not just free falling for a sec. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be free falling for a sec,
It's
but
true
yeah.
though, because I feel like a lot of people just they're scared of the failure, and I mean it's gonna happen
Yeah,
regardless, no matter what. And then sometimes it does work out perfect for you, and good for you if it does, but there's a chance of it most likely will not. And
Oh
you
hell
have
no.
for
just
sure.
take something out of it and learn from it and
Keep going.
keep
Don't
going.
get discouraged. Okay.
Try it again.
Damn.
For sure. I mean, like every problem that we encounter, it's a gift because the problems that we encounter automatically present the solution, and that solution is your search of the solution. You know what I'm saying? Like what is it? For example, like when you're drowning, right? Your solution is you want to breathe. So the gift is that you're working for it, right? You're not just suffering underwater, victimizing yourself, which a lot of people do. But the gift is the problem because once that problem arises, the solution is to get out of that problem. You know what I'm saying? So like problems will come up and you got to understand that and see it as a gift. Don't see it as a problem. See it as a way to get the heck out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like that's a really popular subject and kind of what I'm interested in, like philosophy. I think they even have a saying that's like the obstacle is the way, like
The
essentially,
path. Yeah, for sure.
exactly. So essentially, any type of problem, even after you face it, I'm pretty sure you're gonna feel either like stronger or just mentally more capable of doing things. Because even with like the whole real estate, kind of going back to that, the first obviously couple deals where I ain't gonna lie, I was shitting bricks. I didn't know what I was doing. I was waiting for my mentors to like reach back out to make sure my contracts were good and all that. But if it wasn't for that, I would have never, I guess, got to the next level, I guess you could say. So some people, I guess, wish their problems or the obstacles kind of go away, but it's like the process. It's how you get to the next level and keep it
For
essentially
sure.
like going up. So, oh,
It's the
I agree with that.
experience for sure.
Yeah, definitely agree
Just
with
just
that.
to kind of yeah, just to kind of keep it in the real estate, the
Yeah.
way I like to see it is like whenever you're house searching, like Edgar, you just bought a house, right?
Yeah.
Majority of people don't stay at that first house. At the beginning, you're searching for your house, you're searching for your house. You find it and you think it's the perfect house. You're like, I want this one. But not until you buy it and you live in it, you'll see like the miscomings of the house, right? You start seeing like, oh, you don't really like this lighting. You're missing the fact that the backyard doesn't have fencing. So now you found the solution for your next house. So that's how I see it. Like you have to buy the house, live in it for a little bit to experience it, and then figure out what it is you don't like about it. That way you can implement the changes in the next house. It's the same thing with life.
100%. Yeah.
The fact, the process. I feel like that's one thing I've been trying to, I guess, kind of more preach and even just like fully absorb myself into is that like life isn't like a destination. It's more like a process. So
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily just trying to be old and be rich or whatever your end goal is. It's like actually like enjoying, I guess, this moment and just enjoy eating like basically shit, you know, like learn how to enjoy that. So are you big on like attitude and essentially having like enjoying like I guess the process, or what are your thoughts on that?
So I struggle with that a lot, bro. A lot. I'm very result oriented.
Uh-huh.
I actually just had this conversation with a friend that teaches people how to remove like subconscious blockages that they have. And he's saying that majority of our problems obviously stem from our past. So I'm not sure like somewhere in my past where like I didn't get the result that I wanted or that someone wanted, like for example my dad,
Mm-hmm.
and I was punished for it. So now like whenever I don't get the result that I'm in search of and I don't get it, I kind of like put myself down. But I'm slowly starting to learn like it's not about the destination because once you get there, there's a new one.
Yeah.
Once you get to the top, there's a new top, you know? So I'm slowly learning how to fall in love with the process for sure.
Nah, I'm in the same boat. Like it's like you said, it's way easier said than done, but for sure I have
Yeah.
days where I'm like shit, like I'm working and doing my thing, but I feel like we just as humans just want everything so fast, and we want progress, but we really don't see it day to day. It's usually, you know,
Yeah.
in longer time
Yeah.
intervals. So yeah, it's really, I guess, important, even like you said, just kind of just be patient and at least like I'm not gonna be honest, I haven't really enjoyed everything, but at least try and maybe kind of look up and acknowledge that, oh, I did get a little better at this, or
Yeah. And I feel like if you get too focused on wanting everything so fast, you almost kind of space out where you're living at and what you have. And
you handicapped yourself a little bit.
yeah, it's,
For sure.
and you almost hurt yourself too. You almost hold yourself back from actually pursuing forward because you're so like desperate and stubborn that you want it right now.
For
That's
sure.
true.
Yeah.
Do you find like, or even practice like spirituality? Like, is that something important to you?
Bro, my morning process, that's all it is.
Mm.
When I wake up in the morning, obviously I say that I'm grateful. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I'm grateful for this day. And then I tap into raising my frequency just by getting burpees in or some push-ups in. And then after that, I read and I journal.
Mm.
I usually don't read something like I read spirituality things in the morning. That way I can carry that throughout the day. Like, for example, right now I'm reading Meditations by Marcus Aurelius.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
A lot of good quotes in there. A lot of good quotes. Like, for example, if I choose not to be harmed, I cannot be harmed because I chose that, right? Like, so if things throughout the day are putting weight on me, like it'll only be heavy if I choose for it to be heavy. So, or like, life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. So everything is in my benefit to create the man that I want to be. So I definitely am a huge advocate of spirituality, both like religiously and then like spiritual.
Oh hell yeah! Okay,
For
that's
sure.
that's cool because I'm into an author named Ryan Holiday, but that's like his favorite
Yeah.
book, and he does all that. But he has like essentially a journal and then a book. So I kind of like read a passage each day and then journal. And but it
The
asked me
Daily Stoic, right?
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I do.
Yes,
So that's
sir.
so I think so. Is that what you do, or what exactly are you putting in your journal? Is there a question, or what necessarily is kind of the process for that?
So I do two things. First, one of them is I reflect on the day prior. So I try to fix my mistakes that I kind of didn't like how I went about my day. I try to fix that the next day. And then, so there's that. And then I kind of just started this. Me and my wife started doing it. It's called scripting. We got it from some buddies.
Mhm.
Is you just script how you want your day to go in the past tense, which will ultimately generate a feeling, and that feeling will carry you out so you can act on that throughout the day. And all that is in hopes for me to manifest those scriptures. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
That's cool.
So I journal my mistakes for the day prior, and then I essentially write out my book in the past tense. I write out my life in the past tense.
That's hella cool. I've
That's
never
cool.
heard of that.
Yeah, same. That's actually,
Scripting, huh?
I mean, you're manifesting in a way, you know.
Facts.
That's
Okay, cool. You mentioned that you and your wife do this like together. How important do you think it is to find maybe? It doesn't have to be. I feel like maybe it does. I guess you could tell me your thoughts on finding a significant other to be on essentially the same mindset, maybe like a language, like I guess yeah, basically frequency. Is that like does that affect you? Like obviously you already. It sounds like you already have a wife that's on board and all that. Was it always like
Yeah.
that, or what kind of? I guess kind of got you there.
Nah. Nah, it wasn't always like that.
Hmm.
Majority of my journey, it was a struggle for sure to have us both see eye to eye, which is not to blame anybody, right? Because all of us were programmed to
Yeah.
go to school, get good grades, go to college, get a career, right? And that's all we knew, or that's all we know, essentially, right? And then until I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. Have you guys read Rich Dad Poor Dad?
I
I
haven't
haven't.
necessarily read it, but Robert Kiyosaki, I've been to some of his conferences and stuff, so I kind of know like
Heck
the
yeah.
essence of it.
Yeah, for
Hmm.
sure. If you haven't, Edgar, check it out.
For
It's a
sure.
huge paradigm shift. But that's what started everything. And my wife obviously only saw traditional. So I was
Mm.
trying to kind of feed into her, but she couldn't see it, which is understandable.
Yeah.
Until recently, she kind of just got on board, and it's been awesome ever since. Like, our conversations are better, our energy is a lot more potent, and I mean, there's growth for sure, and there's something to look up to or look forward to. So it's very important to find someone that wants to grow
That's so
with
beautiful.
you,
That's so beautiful,
for
man.
sure,
Yeah.
for
Hell yeah.
sure.
Hell yeah. So I'm assuming you were like you were the first one that you were kind of escaped the normal just normal thinking
The
pattern.
rat race.
The rat race. There you go. Got the hell out of the rat race, and now yeah, basically just trying to put as many people on board. That's cool because I feel like I've heard of people that not necessarily are in the whole maybe not getting out the rat race, but let's say someone wants to go to the gym or something like that, and their wife isn't really on board with that and doesn't really want to eat clean, and they kind of just fall back onto bad habits because obviously when they go home that's what she's cooking, or if they don't cook or whatever. So I feel like that's something important too, just having that significant other like you have that supports you and you're able to grow. So I feel like that should be a good
For
goal for
sure, bro.
everyone that wants to do that. So
For sure.
Yeah,
Definitely,
for sure,
definitely, it's
for
a
sure.
plus. I feel like there is to a certain point too where you kind of have to be able to work without it because a lot of people may not have that yet. But it's definitely, I feel like it's like a plus for sure that could
mm,
be added. That
yeah, that's a fact. Okay,
because yeah,
You guys are
okay.
unstoppable at that point. You're unstoppable
yeah,
because a lot of people divorce. They separate because outside forces are telling them this, and that. Like, imagine if you guys were both on the same page, ignoring everybody else and just focused on that one goal. Like, you're unstoppable.
yeah,
Yeah, that's facts.
You know
yeah,
what
And
I'm
then
saying?
they probably help you also like stay accountable as well. Obviously, right? You guys are a
That
team,
too.
so when one's falling off, but
Yeah,
hey, like stand up. So yeah, I feel
yeah.
like that
for
should be
sure.
something everyone strives for, honestly. Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool. Is there any? Well, obviously that's probably one thing. Your wife keeps you accountable. Is there any things you kind of do to keep yourself accountable and making sure like you're on track?
For sure, her and just other friends that are also on the same path.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Obviously, when you're pursuing growth, you don't think that people are watching you, but they're for sure watching you, right? So if you just remind yourself that people are looking up to you when you don't feel like doing the work that's necessary, like that will kind of push you to continue going. Um, I just recently found out that people that I respect actually look up to me, and they look up to me in many ways that I didn't see in myself. So like that right there, like holy shit, I gotta wake up at 4 in the morning because they're waiting for that quote that I'm posting usually every single morning. And if I don't wake up, I'm choosing me over them, and that's not cool, you know.
That's some real shit.
Mm.
That's some real shit. And you put yourself in that kind of position, and now it's not just yourself. You're letting other people down, which is obviously a way bigger motivator than just yourself. You know, you're thinking
For sure.
external as well. So, hell yeah, I feel like it's kind of something we here at the podcast try to do. Like, have one each week and not just go ghost on everybody and all that, because
Yeah,
just
yeah. I get people telling
For
us like,
sure.
yeah, every morning, like every Monday morning, they're ready to hear that podcast. So it's like, oh shit.
yeah.
We don't think people are out there waiting, but they're out there.
Some might need it.
Yeah.
For
Okay,
sure.
cool. I think we've talked about like a bunch of like helpful stuff, all that stuff. But is there any like reward that you like give yourself, like whether that be going out and like I don't know, going to the club or going to like a dinner, or maybe you have like I don't know, like a vice, like like let's go to the bar, have a few drinks or something like that. Like, do you essentially partake in any of that stuff? Do you think that's all negative? Can you maybe use that as a motivator? What are your, I guess, thoughts on that, things like that?
Before I used to drink like every single day, but now I don't have any vice. I think the only vice that I have right now is food. um, but I actually stopped drinking in April because before that I was always like something was telling me, bro, like stop drinking, stop drinking, stop drinking. You don't need this. Like, what are you running from? What are you trying to hide? And I wouldn't listen to it, bro. I'll stop and then I'll start again. I'll stop, start again. And in April, before I moved out here to Arizona, I went to Texas with my sister to go visit some family and check some real estate property out.
Mm-hmm.
And I drank that night. I had a couple of Coronas with my cousin and my sister. And that night, bro, like, I thought I was going to die, bro.
Damn.
For real. Like, I was sleeping and I woke up with a panic attack. And it was so bad that I thought I was going to die. And I have been on the spiritual path already, listening to Wes Watson, following like God and all that stuff. And I told myself right there, like, dude, that's my warning. Like, that's letting me know, like, bro, you need to stop drinking right now. Because if not, the next time you're going to fucking die. And I'm kind of on the spiritual path of, like, we are told every single day our vision by our conscience. Kind of like what Wes Watson preaches, right? Your conscience is the path to your vision, right? Every single day you're being told, like, yo, stop talking to your girl like that. Hey, start spending more time with your kids. Stop drinking. Stop smoking. A lot of people don't know, but that voice right there, bro, is the authentic voice of God. And if you don't listen to it, you will be punished. And if you do listen to it, you will live in paradise. And that night, bro, I stopped drinking. I haven't drank since because I think that God was telling me, like, you better fucking listen, homie. If not, you will pay for it. And I haven't drank since.
Damn.
But I don't have a reward really. My reward is feeling proud of myself, bro. Because as much as I want to fucking eat fat foods and smoke weed and go to the club and dance and, you know, watch pornography, I don't do that because initially it feels good, but over time it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? So my reward is remaining in character because I feel proud and I feel good. And when I'm proud and good, I can be the best version and have the best life.
No, that's some real shit, bro.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
thank you for sharing that, because
Yeah.
shit, I
For real.
need to follow some of that as well. 'Cause I feel like I have those rewards that I'm like, oh, I worked hard. Okay, I'm gonna go and have to take a sip or hop on, some video game or some shit, or go out, or
Yeah.
I don't know. So that's good though.
Yeah.
That's some real shit.
It's true, man. I don't know. I can relate with that for sure because I think all of us. I mean, I think we're all there where we think we reach a certain achievement or something, and it's like, oh, let's go out. But in all reality, I'm like, just be proud for what you're doing and just keep it going. Because almost use that as energy in a way to keep going.
Yeah,
That's true.
for sure.
How do you celebrate your wins then? Like, what do you do in that regard?
That's a good question. I guess it just comes down to your conscience, right? Like, just do whatever your conscience tells you. My conscience is I cannot smoke weed, I cannot watch porn, I cannot cheat on my wife, I cannot drink because God has given me this path. And my purpose is to become the best version of myself and help people do the same. The only way for me to do that is to listen to my conscience. And my conscience is telling me, like, bro, you need to be a good man. And the only way for you to be a good man is to wake up early, eat the proper foods, and just be around your family the best way you can possibly be. And honestly, dude, that's my win, bro. I know it sounds boring, but I need to selfishly focus on myself to then be selfless for everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a fact. Damn. Well, no, I appreciate you for sharing all this info, bro. Because now you got me thinking and stuff. So like this, you're like our second guest. So I think even last time when we had a guest, we kind of went back and reevaluated things. So I'll definitely be doing the same.
For sure.
Same thing.
Yeah,
here.
no. I mean, it takes a lot for people to share stuff like that too, because everybody, wants to put a pretty picture out there of this, badass life that they live and things they do and all this. And I mean, it takes a lot for people to be transparent like yourself. And I mean, we try our best to do as well for people, because it's not always sunshine and rainbows out there. It's
a lot of bullshit out there too.
For sure. And it's easy to get carried away into, deep holes.
Big time.
Yeah, for sure. Just face the truth. That's it. Nobody can fuck with you if you face the truth. Like, the truth is incorruptible. You know what I'm saying? Like, once I let you know that this happened to me, like, you can't talk. It's kind of like the movie, bro, 8 Mile. Like, that dude, Papa Doc, had nothing on him when he threw it all on the line. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was speechless.
He was like, damn, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, literally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
That's
bro.
awesome.
No, I appreciate it, Leo. I really do. So for the people that are listening, obviously you gave a lot of wisdom, a lot of insights, a lot of information, all that stuff. Where if someone wanted to maybe reach out, maybe wanted to get some coaching from you, maybe just wanted to get some inspiration from your story, like you said, you post every morning. Where can people find you?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram all day, every day. Leadership_fit. Leadership without the EA on lead. I don't know if there's like a chat or something.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah. Well, I have your Insta for sure. So when I make the description for this episode, I'll make sure to put your handle in the description. So if anyone wants to go follow the boy, get some inspiration, some insights, then for sure you'll follow him, hit him up. He does offer coaching for people that want more of a one-on-one type of thing. But if you just want to go and support or get some inspiration, then I'm pretty sure Leo would be happy to have you over there as well. So
for sure.
Awesome. Okay, cool, Leo. So I guess some of the few last questions. I feel like we should touch base. But let's have like some goals. Where do you see yourself in 6 to 12 months? What do you maybe want to essentially kind of do? What do you want to change? Like, what are maybe some things that maybe you want to improve on, I guess you could say, in the next 6 to 12 months? I guess the year's about to end. So for the year 2024.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely want to earn a lot more money, for sure. And I want to spread my word for sure. I truly believe that I was meant to speak on stages. Like, I see that in my vision. So I want to definitely start spreading the word on stages. And just help people, dude. Just help people because this freaking world is evil. And, sometimes when we're stuck in our own ways that are completely negative, we think we're the only ones going through it. So I just want to be that voice to people that don't really see a way out. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
help people speak on stages and just earn more money for sure.
Hell yeah, man.
That's
I know, I think when we talked about 5 to 6 weeks ago, you let me know that you were reaching out to like podcasts and all that stuff, trying to get, some exposure, honing your skills as well, like we all do. Are you still kind of like on that wave? Or have you been more busy with like the solar? Because I do know you said that kind of things changed for you here not too long ago.
Yeah, so this is my third one that I'm on already. So
Oh, hell
yeah,
yeah, bro.
for
That's
sure.
awesome.
Yeah, I've been reaching out to people. Actually, this is my fourth one for sure.
See?
Oh,
Okay.
see,
No, that's the
Just trying
thing.
to spread the word. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, 100%.
that's
Because I'd be saying, like, even as a testament, a lot of people maybe watching, hearing this, maybe too afraid to reach out. Like you obviously went out there, you knocked on the virtual door, I guess you could say, email. And so when we talked, I think you did a Instagram live, I believe you said. And now this
Yeah.
is like your fourth pod in that time frame. So that's honestly like crazy, bro. So I know you're gonna make it far. Just keep doing what you're doing, and the time
For
is
sure. I
time will
mean,
do
we
the
could
rest.
all make it. We could all make it. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
We gotta stop lying to ourselves. Like if you're fucking up, change that shit. If you're not fucking up and you are proud of yourself, you do the work, tell yourself that. Because I was failing at telling myself who I truly was. Like when I was going through high school, bro, like I was a cool dude. I was a natural athlete. Like if I wanted a girl, it wouldn't really work out as far as me pursuing a girl, but for the most part, if I was slightly interested in her, for the most part I got her. But I would still tell myself, bro, like I'm not meant to be here or I'm not confident. Like I would always lie to myself, bro. So like we need to start telling ourselves what we want to hear and then just back it up with action, And we'll
Beautiful.
get what
I
we
like
want.
that.
We'll get what we want.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just stay true to yourself, and
yeah, literally.
project what you want. Okay, beautiful. No, I appreciate you, Leo. Thank you so much, man. This has been like a pleasure. I always like talking to new people and picking their brains and all that stuff. You obviously come from a different path of life. Some similarities I found out today, so that's cool. But yeah, we're always here as well, dude. So if you ever, I don't know, want to talk or do anything, just let us know. We're always here. Same thing with our fans. We always tell people to submit like questions essentially on our Instagram. So we're trying to get basically more community. I don't want people to be like, oh, they're just out there. I don't know, whatever the hell people think.
Yeah.
But just pray, like you said, just kind of create people and create an opportunity for people to just kind of maybe feel like they're not alone, like you said. So
Yeah.
no, it's been beautiful. So I guess that's kind of it for me. Does Edgar or Leo have like, I guess, any last thoughts, questions? I guess
No,
anything?
but going back to what you're saying about the questions, I mean,
Yeah.
if you guys, just because we don't post a Q&A, question out there, I mean, feel free to, like I said, just message us. I had somebody ask me today, like, where do we submit these questions? I'm like, honestly, anywhere you could find us, whether it's us. I mean, now you guys know Leo. Leo can probably help you guys out with something too. So,
Facts.
yeah, just inbox us, even if we haven't posted nothing, or email, whatever works best for you.
Okay.
So
sure.
that's pretty much it for me.
Okay. What about you, Leo? You got anything for any last thoughts, any last sayings for the good people out there?
I mean, a lot of people overthink it, right? It's obviously I don't have it figured out. I do not have it figured out, bro. A lot of people look up to those that are killing it and are making a lot of money, that are getting the Lambos, the houses, and are just confident. Like they don't have it figured out either. They're just taking imperfect action, and they're creating themselves day by day by doing the steps that are necessary to get there. If you just look at who you want to be and start taking the steps to get there, you'll become proud, which will ultimately build your confidence, and that confidence will lead you to the path to get to where you want to go. It's that simple. Just become proud of yourself and start putting yourself in uncomfortable positions to get where you want to go. It's that simple.
That's
not
facts.
easy, but it's what is it? It's simple, but it's not easy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's easier said than done. So that's a fact.
For sure.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, so if you want, Leo, just stay, so we can like thank you and all that, like off the pods while we end this. But
sure.
yeah, So yeah, guys, that has been episode 40. I don't think we said this was our 40th episode.
Oh, we didn't know. Episode 40, man.
Yeah, kind of crazy little milestone.
It's
Special guest, doing this whole virtual thing. You're actually our first guest doing this whole virtual thing. So this is really new. And we thank you for also kind of pushing us to, get out of our comfort zones and try different things as well. So thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you guys.
Okay.
All right.
Let me end this and we'll follow up here in a sec.
Catch you guys on the next one.
Yes, sir.